Welcome back, SethBling here. Of course, I've been continuing my speedrunning exploits in Super Mario World. So, today I wanted to show you my new personal best. Last night I got a new personal best time of 10 minutes and 15.3 seconds, which is actually better than the world record 2 weeks ago. So I want to tell you about how that happened, and it's not better than the current world record, which is 9 minutes and 55 seconds by Dram55. But I'm going to give a bit of a commentary. So to start out with, I'm going to show you what I'm doing here. I'm going to grab Yoshi, and then I'm going to use Yoshi to take a red shell and spit it out in midair. And then I'm going to grab a green shell, and I put the green shell down. It's going to turn into a coin as the fireball hits it. I'm going to jump off Yoshi, grab the coin, and scroll to the left. And okay, so that was this whole weird ritual. At the top of the screen, you'll see a glitched item. This item is called the Cloud, and it's actually crucial to the fact that I was able to beat what the world record was 2 weeks ago. So I'm going to tell you about the Cloud, what I just did to get the Cloud, and what the Cloud does for the run. It's a new glitch that was discovered within the past few weeks, and LinkDead was the first person to use it to beat the world record, and then Xpaco5, and then now Dram currently holds the world record, but I imagine we might be seeing some further improvements. But it's this whole new glitch that involves eating an enemy that you can't normally eat, and then using the Cloud to completely glitch out Bowser's AI. And typically waiting to fight Bowser and waiting for Bowser to take his next action is a big source of delay during the speedruns. So the fact that we can use the Cloud to skip a lot of Bowser's AI actions is really crucial. And World 1 here is not full of a lot of action or complication, so it's a perfect time for me to talk about this. So how did I get that Cloud into my inventory? The basic way that it works is that when you eat a charging chuck, you get the Cloud in your inventory. And normally you don't see that because you can't eat a charging chuck. The charging chuck has a flag set on him that says, "Yoshi can't eat me." So we get around that by using what's called an item swap, and some of you will have seen the item swap glitch previously when I used to get the orb, and the previous personal best video that I posted to my channel had that orb in the run, and I used the item swap glitch to get it. And the basic way that it works is that Yoshi sticks out his tongue. I'll take a break from that for a sec to just mention, previously when I did get the orb, I would skip Iggy's castle, so now I have to actually do it here. But there's not really that much to say. It's a very straightforward level. Anyway, so the item swap glitch is what we use in order to eat the charging chuck. And the way the item swap glitch works is that we have Yoshi stick out his tongue to eat an item. In this case, it was that coin that I basically created by shooting a green shell with the fireballs from a red shell. So I created a coin, I had Yoshi stick out his tongue, and before Yoshi was able to collect the coin on his tongue, this is the quick kill on Iggy. It's a very fast way of killing him. Before Yoshi was able to collect the coin by sticking out his tongue, I had Mario collect the coin. Now the game still thought that there was an item on the tongue, and because of the specifics of the way that all the objects on the screen were organized in memory, just the way that it worked out is the game thought that the charging chuck was now on Yoshi's tongue. So it's kind of exploits the particular memory organization that the game uses. Now it's a very precise trick. I can only get it about 1 in every 4 or 5 tries, and so every time that I fail I have to reset and try a new speedrun, which is a little silly. But so it's very precise, and it involves loading the charging chuck at just the right time. LinkDead came up with a cool technique that uses pressing the R button on the controller to scroll right in order to load the charging chuck at just the right time so that you can always, or you can pretty reliably get the Cloud. So I'm going to carry this Cloud with me the whole time in the item reserve box at the top of my screen. And if I get hit once during the run, then that's going to cause the item to drop out of the item reserve box, because that's the default behavior of the game. And yeah, so eating the charging chuck gives you the Cloud just because the developers of the game thought, well, Yoshi can't eat the charging chuck, so they never even thought to, make sure that eating a charging chuck wouldn't give you an item in your item reserve box. And so by accident, that's what it does. So I'm going to go through the rest of the game. In about 5 minutes here, I'm going to get to Bowser, and when I do, you'll notice that the Bowser fight is very glitched out. And so I'll explain that a little bit too. Some of the strategies that I'm using here are definitely improved over my previous run. I held on to the shell a little bit longer there. I don't think there's anything that different in the ghost house here. But I definitely have improved my capabilities here. You see I damage boosted through the boo ring there, but that was also present in my previous personal best. Let me start talking about what I'm going to do in the Bowser fight at the end of the game, and why it's such a big time saver. So when I press select, I can get the cloud to come out of the top of the screen, the item reserve box at the top of the screen. I overshot the door a little bit. That was definitely a mistake that cost me a couple seconds. And there are a few seconds that I can definitely make up during this run, and my Bowser fight also was not perfect during this run, as you'll see. But it was pretty good. So before I get there, let me finish describing it. So when I press select, I'll get the cloud out of the top of the screen, and the cloud's just going to hover at the top of the screen. Luckily, I'll have cape, so I'll be able to fly up to the top of the screen and get in the cloud. Now, what you're going to see is that as I fly the cloud around to certain parts of the screen, specifically the left side of the screen, it's going to cause Bowser's AI to do some weird stuff. Actually, let me pause on that for a moment to talk about zipping. So in this level, I'm going to zip through some blocks, and it's also known as the Smashola glitch. And you can see I go right through the blocks. It's very fast. It's obviously a great speedrunning technique. It relies on the fact that only 4 blocks can be spinning at a time. So basically the way it works is I get more than 4 blocks spinning. So some of the blocks that I'm standing in stop spinning because the game has to stop some blocks spinning. And when it does that, the game tries to push you out of solid blocks, pushes you down to the left, and it can cause a chain reaction that lets you, as you saw, zip through a bunch of blocks. Okay, so let me get back to the cloud. When I get in the cloud and I move to the left side of the screen, it's going to glitch out Bowser's AI, and the way that it does that is based on the fact that a Super Nintendo has a very limited amount of memory. And so the developers of the game sometimes had to reuse certain parts of the memory for completely different purposes. As you imagine, they might not have ever thought that a Lakitu cloud would be present in a Bowser fight. So they did reuse part of the memory for Lakitu clouds and for the Bowser fight. And specifically, they used the X and Y coordinates of the Lakitu cloud. And those 4 bytes, I think it's 4 bytes, are the same 4 bytes that they use to track Bowser's AI countdown timer. So normally Bowser says, okay, in 150 frames or something like that, I'm just making up a number, in 150 frames, I'm going to go ahead and do the next part of this fight. But if you have the cloud, you can overwrite that data, and you can say, no, not in 150 frames. If you move to the left side of the screen, where the x coordinate is equal to 0, you can bring that countdown timer all the way down to 0. And as you imagine, then Bowser's going to take his next action. So we'll see that in a moment, and I have to use the cloud on both the left side of the screen and the top of the screen in order to get that to happen. But that's the gist of it, and so this is a very new glitch, and it's allowed people to get much better times. Like I said, my time in this run is better than anyone was ever able to get 2 weeks ago, but there are about 8 people who have gotten better times than me using the cloud. So I don't have a world record, but I am in the top 10 in the world currently for beating Super Mario World quickly. Alright, here it is. Here's the Bowser fight. So you'll see at the very beginning of the fight, I press select and fly up to the cloud, and Bowser comes down from above. I can't do anything to speed this up because the timer for this is not controlled by the same memory that the cloud's coordinates are controlled by. Okay, so here I kind of jump and the cloud floats off to the left. I'm going to pick up some Koopas. That could actually be done a little bit faster, but I wasn't able to in this run. I go off the top of the screen because the Y coordinate needs to be set to 0 in order to skip that phase. You can see I bring the cloud off to the top left in order to get Bowser to drop a ball. Oops. do the same thing again. I'm going to do it a third time in order to get him to drop Koopas. So I'm really skipping a lot of time. That stuff would normally take 20 seconds, maybe 30 seconds. And that's how we're able to save so much time. So I go near the top of the screen. I actually got hit by some fireballs in this run. It's not important though, because I've already done everything I need to do with the cape. And here's the last hits on Bowser. And the timing officially starts and stops when you gain and lose control of Mario. So when Princess Peach appears on the screen, I've now lost control of Mario, and my time is recorded at 10 minutes, 15.3 seconds. So definitely a very cool glitch. It's a very technical glitch. It's the kind of thing that I got into speedrunning to learn about. I really love knowing about these really technical things, how they work, how you can use them. And as you can see, it's very similar to the way I've been approaching Minecraft. So I hope you enjoyed. I'm really excited to be working with this new glitch and have a new time. And I definitely want to try improving it, and I think I can. So come watch me on Twitch as I live stream it. And yeah, thanks for watching.